Hi everybody, this is Diane. Today is Saturday and I'm going to continue on my theme of using weekends to work on ephemera and other things with scraps. And today I pulled out my file folder scraps. Some of them are coffee dyed and some are not. And I just decided to do some stamping on these today. Just keep it simple and do some stamping. And then I can later decide what to do with those stamped pieces. They'll probably just be used as little ephemera pieces and maybe pockets and things. I've got out my pile of file folder pieces. I got out some paper punches that I can use to punch shapes to stamp on. I've got a variety of inks. So I have some archival inks. This is just the black. And then I think I must have gotten these, I have two of those black ones. I must have gotten these on sale at Hobby Lobby. This one isn't even open yet. But I think I remember getting them on sale and thinking while they're on sale I could try some different colors. So there's Thistle and Bluebird and Fern Green. I also have the Tim Holtz Distress Archivals. Ground Espresso, Vintage Photo, Hickory Smoke, and Black Soot. I think the only way you can get the archival inks in this size is in a set of 4. So I ordered them online when they first came out. Sorry. And then I have some StazOn, the red, the black, and the timber brown. So I can have fun with colors. As far as stamps go, I thought that it's about time I really had a good play with my really cool old vintage stamps. So I have this spinny thing. It did not come full, so I've added stamps to this, but what it did come with were postal stamps. So, and this one was too big to fit on it, but this is one of the postal stamps. And these actually came from a post office in Pennsylvania, but I bought it at a flea market. Here's another one, but the rubber came off it. I don't know why I keep it. I just like the handle, and I'm going to use the handle for something. But some of these, like I said, came from that post office, so they're postal stamps. But then I've purchased other types of stamps like this. This one isn't as old, and it says paid. So that's a fun one. And what else isn't from the postal? I guess we'll find out as we play. And then I have this one from an attorney, and I think I have the same name as a notary. That one's just that one lost the rubber. This one is a number 2, and this one says parcel post, so I certainly could add this one to my turnabout, but I don't have any spaces left. I filled it right up. And this one says completed. Isn't it fun? And this, I'm not sure what that's even for. This came with the lawyer and notary stamps, but maybe it would attach to one of the seals that you would use for wax. But we're just going to play with all this stuff. And then these big ones. This one is a clock. It says Novo Educational Toy and Equipment Corporation. And this one says parts are in this package. So just some fun things to play with. This one just says New York. This one, I can't remember. It's got somebody's name. We're going to try it. It's right in the lid. This one says First Class Mail. And and this one says copy. And that's it for the vintage stamps. I did pull out these stamps. They're from Stampin' Up! And they were made to go with the whale tail punch. So I would like to make some of those today. And then I just have some miscellaneous stamps that might go with what I already have out. I also have my box of Tim Holtz stamp sets on the floor next to me, in case I want them to supplement these. So let's just start playing. I have some pieces of file folder that I sprayed with inks. I did that, I don't know, last week, so they'd be all dry and ready to go when I wanted to play. And then I have some pieces that I stamped with background stamps, so I can do something with them. This isn't file folder, but it was with the other background stamp pieces. So let's stop talking and get to work. And drop all the file folders on the floor. I didn't drop all of them, but some of them. So I'm going to start with these, just because I want to get a few of these tabs in my shop, or not in my shop, in my stash. So I'm going to start with some archival ink, and I'll stamp these pretty designs, and then show you how they look when they're punched with the whale tail punch. These are dated 2007. And then, see that little design there? This lines right up with that. And of course you can stamp them in colors too, not just black. But that makes a pretty little tab, doesn't it? So this one is really cool because it has lines. So you put this tab on your page and then you have lines to write the topic or the section or whatever for that. I'm going to save this piece and make a pocket out of it. I like making pockets out of the piece with the notch on it. Same with this piece. I'll make a pocket out of that and a pocket out of that. Let's take this piece and try some of these with some colors. Can't get my thumb in there. I think this was solid rubber in there, and I cut it out because it just kept stamping where it got ink on that plain part, and then it would stamp it onto the paper, and that kind of ruined it. So it looks kind of messy, but it made it work for me. I got the Stampin' Up! It's called the round tab punch, but people call it the whale tail because it makes a whale tail shape. But Stampin' Up! Marketed it as the round tab punch. So if you're looking for it, you could search for Stampin' Up! Round tab punch. And it might come up if you look for whale tail tab also, tab punch. But I bought mine when it was still offered by Stampin' Up! Of course, because I got these too. I got the tab the punch itself before these came out. And I am glad. I use it a lot. Let's try this pretty blue. Sometimes I will just take scraps of colored and patterned cardstock and just punch with my tab punch and get a whole bunch. I have a little box that I keep my tabs ready to go. It's a little creaky. Can you hear it creaking? So I wonder how long it's going to last. I always wonder that. I always wonder, should I search for a new one just to have in case this one dies? I've had it for a lot of years. And then I want to do the solid one if I can find a spot for it there. I don't use the solid one much because I want a color. I can just punch it out of cardstock, but let's see how it looks. Because you can match your tab to your inks, you know, whatever color you're using. And it definitely has a different look from just punching it out of solid cardstock. Okay. These are so pretty. I don't know why I don't use these stamps more. So I should stamp a bunch of them on white cardstock and light colored cardstocks and just have them in my little box. But I'm not going to do that today. But I have some, and this is the little box that I've started keeping them in. I have other kinds of tabs in here too. So when I need a tab, I get that box out. Alright, I'm going to make something with this. It's got some coffee, it looks like, on it. So it was probably in the vicinity when I was coffee dyeing pieces, and it's just got some little drips on it, but that's okay. I just want to make a level bottom to it before I start stamping, and maybe make it a little bit shorter. Okay, I like that size. Stamps probably don't work very well because they are so old, but I don't remember which ones work and which ones are iffy. But this one says completed, so let's start with that one. Yeah, that doesn't stamp very well. They get warped in the ends. Sometimes the ends kind of bend down and they don't connect. Oh, that didn't. I got the ends better, but the middle, not so much. Okay, that's better. You can't see the D very well, but it looks okay. And because they're vintage, it doesn't bother me if they don't stamp perfectly. I'm going to put something with that, so I'm going to look at my Tim Holtz stamps. I'm looking for my school desk ones. If there's one that will fit, I thought that might go well with the word completed, because it could be someone's completed schoolwork. But this is just typeface numbers, or letters. How about this one? Didn't get my acrylic blocks out. Upside down. Okay, so that was a practice piece. This stamp on the back of it is upside down. This one say? Oh, it's got somebody's name. I'm going to stamp that just to see what it is. I'll use this practice piece. This is ink in there, but I'm sure it's dried up. Howard Davies, 333 Vestal Road, Vestal, New York. That's all it says. I know some of the stamps, when I first tried them, some of them only worked with the red ink at that time, just because the red ink was new and the black ink was old. So it had to be a wetter ink. I like that. So I would just ink around the edges of that and put it on as a pocket or a tuck spot. But I would put some ink around it. I'm not going to do that today because it's going to take us a while to get some of these pieces done. For this one, I want to have an image on there. Maybe a smaller one. Couldn't remember the name of the one I wanted. I had to read all the titles. Okay. This gentleman. This one says condemned. But I want to use my vintage stamps with some of these. Let's see how this clock does. Oops. I think I need to glue that, so I'm not going to leave that in there because it'll just drop onto my paper when I don't want it to. This is a fresh Stays On black ink. And I do have some little metal clock hands that are very old from Stampin' Up! Too, so I could put them on with a brad. I've been at this for 20 minutes and I only have some tabs in one pocket. It's okay, we don't need to rush the process. And what color can I put him on? I even cleaned some of my blocks yesterday. They don't have black all around the edges. I only did like 3 of them, 3 or 4. I'll use purple for him. Thistle. He could be the postmaster. This says parcel post. That stamp's nice. I think I will ink this one just so we can see one that's inked and see how it looks. And I think I put my brown ink away. I usually keep my vintage photo handy, but my vintage photo is all dried up and I've been using a different brown, but I put it away. I've been using frayed burlap or gathered twigs. Let's try both, see which one I like. I think I've been using gathered twigs. I'm going to try frayed burlap for this. Oh, that's nice and dark. Darker than I expected. There we go. That's ready to go onto a page as a pocket, but I will add some clock hands to it. Okay, next. I'm going to punch a square with this. And just find a little stamp for it. That's a little one. It says invoiced. Let's see if it works. Oh, uncoated. It says uncoated. It's hard to read these old black things. But that looks neat. Alright, I've got to try the ink again. They just don't look finished unless I do that, right? And I can cut that smaller if I want to and ink around it again, but right now I could just stick it onto something. That was simple. Let's do another one. Might as well have 2 of them. But I'm not going to ink all of them today. Now I have 2 more pieces to use for pockets. This could be a nice deep pocket. This one I will cut the bottom off. It's a nice little stamp that fits in the little places. What other little ones do I have? This one says coated. We have coated and uncoated. I'll cut them out better when I'm ready to use them. See, this one says paid. I just cut that, but it doesn't look straight. It's not, I don't think. I don't know, maybe it is. Yeah, I guess it was. Just doesn't look straight. This one is a bunch of numbers. It's a table with numbers. Paid. I think I'll try the gray. I'll stamp it on a practice piece first. See if it shows up on the manila file folder. Yeah, I like that. It looks faded, so I think I'll like that. Maybe another big number down here. And oh, I was going to get out my label stamps. Use them. I got this pretty basket at Walmart for, I think it was $2 or $3. $3. And it wasn't where it belonged. There were several of them in the wrong place. I didn't know where to find where they belonged to see if there were more, but I got 2 of these white ones, I think, and 1 pink, or else vice versa. They're just very pretty. I don't think I want red again. we're gonna ink again. That'll be a fun side pocket or tuck spot. I like it. I want to do one with a lady on it. This one is from Ephemera, I think from Prima, maybe? I'm not sure. But it's Ephemera. This one is Tim Holtz. I think we'll just do this one without any of the vintage stamps. These look vintage. This is an invitation to a cotillion party. We're going to try this one with Vintage Photo. This is archival, whereas the Vintage Photo that we normally use in Distress ink or Distress oxide, that would smear with water. This would not. Where do I want this? I guess I'll have it down here. And because it's distress, I believe is the reason, whatever the formulation is, it's not as crisp as a StazOn would be, or a regular archival ink. I thought I would work with these today, and then maybe the next time I do stamping like this, using up scraps, I would get out a couple sets, some of my wooden stamps, do some of those for a few sessions, and then maybe get out some of this type. But I'm using this type today, so whatever I feel like doing is what I'll do. Okay, that's a start. I need something else. I can put this floral design up here in a light color. So I think I'll get my Stampin' Up! Inks out to find a pretty light color. Wonder how this Grapefruit Grove would look. I think that's light enough. And I think I need a little bit of that color down in that corner. That's pretty. Oops, sorry. It's a nice deep pocket. Whoops, what am I doing? I was gonna rub that on the edge of my card. Okay, now, I like that. She's pretty. I'm just going to take a piece of the file folder. Oh, let's do something with this first. That's the address. This one says entered. What's this big one? COD. This big round one, in case you were wondering, is Middlebury Center, Pennsylvania. We'll just go ahead and use this lady. My workspace is shrinking. Goodness. Doing fancy tricks with my stamp pad. Now I need a scrap. Oh, she wasn't supposed to do that. Well, let's stamp her and see how it looks. Her face looks a little bit like she got a brush burn on her face. This looks like a ledger entry. It's part of the Ephemera line of stamps. I'm gonna just finish, and if I don't ever use this, I won't, but I just want to finish it. Now what I was starting to say before I grabbed that piece was, just want to find a piece of file folder. This one I don't think I need to use the tab, so I'm just going to stamp a bunch of these stamps on it, try them out, and this one just says 3. So I can cut some shapes and stamp some stamps and just have them for tiny little embellishments. That just popped onto the floor. I should have stamped it before I punched it, I think. Let's try it out. It is so tiny. Let's try that. Stamp it first and then punch it. The top of the 3 didn't show up. Yeah, it just, I think it's warped or something, because is it even a 3? I don't know. Yeah, it's a 3. But it's a little blurry. I don't know if I'll use it because it doesn't really look like a 3. I'm going to try it one more time. I didn't press so hard. It does look more like a 3, but it's still not very clear. Alright, let's try another one. This one says parcel post. And I can just cut it out in a little rectangle, or I have this shape, which I would need it to be more centered for that, I think. I'm just going to leave it like that, and then when I'm ready for one, I can just cut it and just glue it onto something. This one says Crooked Creek, Pennsylvania. Oh, that comes out nice. Okay, what's next? Entered. I'm just going to stamp a few of those, but let's see. Let's try cutting them out in a shape. I've been at this longer than I thought. Didn't stamp very well. I'm going to try it on that side. There, that's better. That's cute. Alright, I am going to have to go because my camera won't last much longer, so let's just look at what we did. We did some tabs in black and blue. I'm going to do some more of those after I turn the camera off in different colors. And we did some little pieces that I can cut out and just glue onto either the page or in a pocket or a card or something. Got a bunch of those. And we did some pockets. And some more just little pieces that say coated and uncoated. So that's what we did today. I'm going to keep playing and I'll show you in a future video what I did for the rest of this session. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you got your stamps out and you're playing along with me. See you soon. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.